Day or night, rain or sunshine, freezing cold or steaming hot. It's ludicrous what we ask our members to do.
911, what's your emergency?
In that case, I'll go home.
So this is our bunk room where we can only fit 8, which pretty much every night we have at least 8 people sleeping in throughout the week. And we also have a whole lot more that sometimes we end up sleeping out on the couch because we run out of beds in here.
So I've been a member of a couple other volunteer fire companies whose bunk rooms have been smaller and larger than this. But for what we have, having 8 people in a room this size, we're just way too cramped, way too close.
We're tripping, like us 4 trip over each other, especially. And us 3 live here.
I live here at Bowleys Quarters Volunteer Fire Department.
Living in the bunk room, it's tight. It's crammed here. And we're on top of each other.
Pretty much a single family house, and we're trying to run a firehouse out of it.
Like, we have no space. As you see, like, everything's everywhere. There's no organization. And then at night, we're on top of each other when we're trying to get out of bed and get down to the calls.
The people that live here pretty much full time, we only get a foot locker just to keep our clothes in here, which obviously they're not that big, so we can't fit a lot of stuff.
So currently we're all living out of totes. We all live out of little under the bed totes. Some of us have more than others. Some of us have 4 or 5 of them under the bed, just because we have no room. And then some of us went and bought drawers to put additional stuff in. We don't have dressers, we don't have closets, we have
And it's just very tough sometimes living here because of the space we have.
So one of the things I look forward to in the new firehouse is private bunk rooms.
In the new bunk room, I would like to see dressers and more under the bed storage for everyone.
Being here and having so many people live here practically, it's just sometimes gets tiring. You know, when you're living next to somebody for so long, you just start arguing.
And it just does not work. I've been to a couple other firehouses, and with those firehouses, they're actual buildings. It's not like a house.
So cooking in this kitchen is difficult when, for one, there's a kitchen full of people. It's hard for me to move around, get things out of the fridge, get dinner on the stove. It's particularly challenged when we need more than just 1 or 2 things in the oven. But then there's no counter space either, so I'm overflowing, stuff's just kind of everywhere. There's times where I have to put it on the table. So it would be nice to have a actual firehouse kitchen. I'm cooking anywhere from 8 to 15 people at a time. As you see, we have over 8 tonight, and there was even more here when we prepared the meal. And I had 2 cakes, vegetables, so it was challenging.
So as you see here, we have 2 bathroom facilities, one for the women, one for the men's room. In the men's room here, we had to add this storage that we already outgrown. We only added that about a year ago. And we get a fire when we all got to take a shower. We have 1 shower, we have 1 commode, 1 urinal, and 1 sink. So if we're all in the same spot at the same time trying to shower, it just doesn't work. After every fire, we need to shower to get all those carcinogens and all that nasty stuff from the fires off, and we definitely need something a little bit bigger.
In the women's room, it's like a residential bathroom, so only one of us can be in at a time. And it's also currently used for like cleaning storage. So it's, again, we have no space. It's challenging when there's multiple females on the fire truck and we all have to come back and take showers because we have to wait. So one of us can shower at a time and the other one has to wait. Unfortunately, we can't go to bed until we shower.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of some of our administrative offices, show you what we've had to kind of give up to get everybody in one space. As you walk through this door, you can kind of look to one side or the other. This used to be one training room, and that's what we did up here. That was it, training. As our administrative side kind of became a little snug and we needed to get some people in a few different places, we wound up having to cut the space in half. And now in the administrative office here, there are 5 of us, from HR and records to myself in finance, and we all share this lovely space. So come check it out. Like I said, it's records. Some of the guys that handle our fundraising and our capital fundraising, they sit over here. Miss Cindy from HR, she sits over here. And I have my little corner of the world back here. This is a 12 by 12 bedroom that 5 of us share. We're all here several times a week, and it gets a little cramped in here sometimes.
So for times like this, it would really be helpful to have a little bit better space, maybe with 2 monitors, so that I can show our prospective recruit how they can get into their website to be able to do their to-do list. Can you go ahead and...
I could have told you that. There you go.
Okay, cool.
I think there's 2 things that I would love to see out of new office space at a potential new station. 1, just a little bit of extra space. Room to be able to put your arms out and turn around in a circle and not have to worry about who you're going to smack when you do it. 2, I think a little bit of the embracing technology piece is, that's a very attractive piece of the puzzle for me. Historically, things have been done a lot of old school ways around here, and we've spent a lot of time, effort, and energy over the last 2 years really bringing our company up to 2025. We've got a great team here at the moment, and like I said, we're 5 of us operating out of a 12 by 12 bedroom that you would have for your 2 kids to share at home.
Some of the ADA concerns you can see right behind me. We don't have ramps and we don't have elevators. This is the only access into our main living quarters. When we have guests that come from Cub Scout groups, church groups, youth groups to visit and tour the station, if there's anybody that uses any mobility devices, it's difficult to get them up inside. So we have to utilize our stair chair medical equipment sometimes to get visitors into the facility.
You ever realize that 80 years ago, the original station house was built, and people would leave their homes and they would come to the station house to get on the fire trucks. They would leave one building to go to another building to get on the fire trucks. And then around the 90s, we built the apparatus bay across the street because our apparatus no fit in the old station. The apparatus got big and we outgrew the space. So the apparatus bay opens across the street, but the little bit of crew accommodations we had was across the parking lot. So in the mid-90s to late 90s, we're leaving one building to go into another building and ride the fire trucks.
It makes no sense.
But here we are from 2004 till now.
When we're in our living quarters and we get an emergency call, we have to come out this door, down these steps, into the separate building that holds all of our gear and our equipment. Once we get here, we then have to enter a code to get in. And then we have to walk all the way over here. We have gear racks in between the apparatus here. We have gear racks in between apparatus here. And we also have gear racks on the back wall.
It's all about taking care of our people. This is just dangerous. To have the apparatus so close to the turnout gear and the dress out area is absurd. I wish we had more room. We don't have more room. We're crammed in this metal building.
So when you have people that are rushing, because seconds count in an emergency, it gets crammed, it gets confusing.
The driver has to sit and look in the mirror and wait until everyone is out of this space in order to pull out and respond to the call. So I could be getting dressed here to get on a unit over there, but this driver now has to wait and can't respond until I'm out of the way because it's just not safe. This is ridiculous. I'm so tired of being crammed in a shoebox. A few years ago, we responded to a young man who was trapped in his car and his car was on fire. And if we had to wait any longer to get out the door, he may not have made it. I mean, sometimes the seconds can be the difference between life and death. And we're gambling with it because of how we're set up.
So with this current facility we have now, it's kind of hard to do day-to-day functions with the limited space of being able to maintain equipment, maintain apparatus, maintain tools. Everyone here shares one workspace, a 3x5 workstation, and a couple cabinets. It is the shared department between Marine Division, suppression, and we have some of our supplies in one cabinet locked away that we have to share and open one door, close it to open up another door, another cabinet. And it's a maze to work on anything we have. One day a nice facility, the proper facility with room, with proper storage and proper equipment would be amazing to function a multi-million-dollar emergency service.
So it's all about respect for the provider. We're asking a lot of them to begin with. The least we can do is make sure that we tend to some basic human.
When I came into a leadership position here at this company, I do the absolute best I can to put the people first. Our members are our number one priority. Our apparatus and our equipment is our number two priority, because without the people, the apparatus just sits here. Without the apparatus, we can't serve the community. But there's nothing to support the people of the apparatus like a facility would support the people of the apparatus. Having space to perform maintenance and checkouts on units, having a place where members could dress out in their turnout gear that wasn't slapping their jackets into the paint job on the side of the $1 million fire truck, having a technical decontamination area so we could stop this cancer that everybody is getting from the carcinogens that are in these house fires.
So the decontamination process after fire calls, we have to wash our gear. So on scene, we have brushes and hoses and we scrub our gear down. Most stations have a gear washer and dryer that extracts all the carcinogens out of the gear so it's safe for us to wear again. We don't have a decontamination room, nor do we have space for one or a gear washer and dryer here. The other issue is for individuals that only have one set of gear, if they run an emergency call on a fire and then have to wash their gear, that individual is now out of service until the gear is washed and dry.
Firefighters have a 9% higher risk of cancer than the general population. And of that, 14% will be fatal. So it's very important for us to have a technical decontamination area where we can take a firefighter's gear and a firefighter's equipment and clean it down after they come out of a structure fire. Because the structure fires in the house, the poisons in the structure fires, that's what's killing us. And we don't have a technical decontamination area in this current station. We have buckets and scrub brushes, not extractors, not appropriate cleaning agents. We have to send gear out, and every time we send gear out to be cleaned, that's one less firefighter in service for the community. This is what matters, and I can't fix that. I can do everything I can for the member of the company to support them and to treat them with value and respect, but without a facility that gives them the resources that they need, we've reached our limits. We can't do anything else. So for me, it is critical that we find a way to get this through. We need to get the support of Baltimore County government, and we need to let the community know what we're facing. Okay, we've always been very private. We've been the people that show up in the community's time of need, and we've done it with excellence as long as I can remember. And I've been in the volunteer fire service. I first joined here over 30 years ago. We have always been excellent at what we do when we show up. And our deep, dark secrets is the squalor that we're living in. And it's time that they know about it so they can stand behind us when it comes time to reestablishing our future and to make our organization sustainable.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I fall asleep when I'm home, when I'm just so far from here, focused on my own way, even never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was